afternoon, and it's Betty, and I'm cooking on Fawnridge. So today, I thought I'd show you what we used to do back in the day when we come home from church. Macaroni and cheese was, first of all, a family staple. Second of all, the cook walked in the house, washed her hands, got right into starting her meal before they even changed their clothes. So, you go to church, come home, you cook your dinner. I'm still one of those old-fashioned cooks, so I don't want to go out. But today, we're making macaroni and cheese, just like I promised my nephew. Gonna start with a box of creamette macaroni. Got my water already boiling. I got my Velveeta cheese. I like Velveeta cheese. I think my light, okay, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna use Velveeta cheese, and for this 1 pound box, you only need half of this 2 pound box. So I'll take my Velveeta cheese and I'll cut it up in cubes. Then I'll add a half a stick of butter. And I also like to add just a little bit of this shredded Velveeta cheese. And I'll mix it in with my macaroni, and then I'll also put some on top. We'll add some milk, some salt and pepper, and the macaroni will be ready to go. So, how you guys doing? Is everybody okay? How you like my apron? How you like my headband? You know, I try to be stylish while I cook. But anywho, that's my favorite word, anywho. We're gonna cook macaroni today on Fawnridge. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started, and I will be back when I'm ready to mix it up. So I already showed you, we're gonna use a 1 pound box of creamette. You can use any kind of macaroni that you choose. But for this half a pan that I'm going to do, it requires only 1 box of 1 pound creamette macaroni. I'm also gonna use a stick of butter. I'm gonna use 1/2 pound of Velveeta cheese that I am going to cut up in cube size. And then I'm going to add some shredded macaroni. Some shredded Velveeta also in there. I'm gonna stir it up really good until it's nice and creamy. And then when I put it in my pan, I'm gonna add some more on top so that my macaroni will be nice and browned. Gonna also add some milk because this is my staple. This is gonna make my cream. So again, I'll be back. Don't go nowhere. Hey, it's Betty, and I'm back. I've cooked my macaroni, and I've drained it. Here you go. It's all ready. You want to make sure that it's a nice consistency before you add your cheese. So now, I'm going to add my cheese that I've already cubed up. I'm going to stir as I go. Just add your cheese. I have a couple of little secrets that I do when I make my macaroni. So, actually, my pot should be bigger. I tell you all the time, your food cooks better when it's in a bigger pot. Look, I've added my butter. And I've added my cheese. And now we just want to stir it. Fold it over because we want it to start to melt. I'm going to add my milk. I have about 3 cups of milk here. The milk and the macaroni together, this is gonna make my creamy base. So now that I got it all in, I'm gonna add, I've already added salt. So I'm just gonna add some pepper, and you really, if I was cooking this macaroni and cheese and I was cooking it for an event and not for home, I would add white pepper because I wouldn't want people to see the pepper in the macaroni. But I'm gonna add black pepper because when we were growing up, and I always remind you about when we were growing up, they didn't know anything about any white pepper. We could only afford black pepper if we could afford that. So we add some black pepper. And this is the secret that I was telling you about. Okay, I got my macaroni in. I got my cheese. Got my butter. Have my salt and my pepper. And it's in this pot. And now I'm going to actually move it to the stove. And I'm going to let it cook there until it gets its cream base. And I'm going to add some shredded Velveeta. Okay? It's not hard at all. In fact, all the dishes I make are really easy. So I'm just going to pour a little shredded cheese in there. Meanwhile, I got my casserole dish ready. I did spray a little canola oil on it because I don't want it to stick. If I used an aluminum pan, I wouldn't spray it because I don't care if it sticks because I'm going to throw it away. Okay? Now this process should take, I'll just let it sit there for a minute because it's going to take about 5 minutes. Meanwhile, it's Sunday, so I'm making Sunday dinner. Got my collard greens going on that we cleaned and cooked collard greens on yesterday. But I got my oil ready because I'm going to fry some pork chops. And that's going to be Sunday dinner on Fawnridge. It's going to be good. In fact, remember I told you, in the black home, back in the day, we didn't make greens unless we made hot water cornbread. So you know today I'm going to have to make me a little hot water cornbread. How you like my apron? This apron was sent to me all the way from Houston, Texas by Sonia's Cozy Kitchen. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate my apron. It's so nice. I love pretty aprons. Love my headband. So I'm just stalling because I'm getting ready for my cheese to melt in my macaroni. And guess what? I'll be back when it reaches the creamy consistency that I want you to see it as. So let's just go away for a little bit. Go ahead, find you something to do. But don't forget to come back, okay? I'm back because now my macaroni is starting to cream the way that I want it to. I have it in the pot. I stuck it on the stove because I wanted it to cook and melt the cheese and the butter. I added the milk. And now I got this really creamy sauce. It's ready. I don't use 5 cheeses in my macaroni. I only use 1 cheese, Velveeta. They call Velveeta the diamond of cheese. That's because if you use Velveeta, you don't need another cheese. If you like cheddar cheese in your macaroni, then go ahead. By all means. Use cheddar cheese or whatever cheese you like, but I like the creamy Velveeta. Ah, look at that. It's so nice. Let's pour some in our casserole dish. Yeah. Very nice. I've already preheated my oven to 450. So once I stick my macaroni in, it basically only have to cook because it's already done. It just needs to brown. Look at all that wonderful cream. Yeah, that's nice. And I already showed you what I put in it. This is a 1-pound box of macaroni. Nice and creamy. Move it back some so you can see it. It's ready for the oven. Ay. Me and this camera. Next week I should do better because my other camera should arrive. All right, let's do this instead. Let's see. Here's my macaroni. It's all ready for the oven. I can tell you, for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to flip this camera. You hear my coffee pot? That's because I'm going to make some hot water cornbread. All right. I always set my macaroni when it's in a bowl in an old cookie sheet because if it spills over, Then it don't spill in my nice clean oven. Okay. So, I'm putting my macaroni in the oven, and my oven is already preheated to 400. I'm gonna make some hot water cornbread because you already hear my kettle going. I got some oil going, and guess what? I think I'll fry some pork chops too. Because remember, this is Sunday dinner on Fawnridge. Pork chops, seasoned and floured. Drop them in the oil. That oil is not hot enough, so I'm just gonna put that one in there. So what are you all cooking for Sunday dinner today? We should get back to having Sunday dinners. Family Sunday dinners. I miss those. Our families have grown so far apart. But anyway, that's another story for another day. My greens are cooking. Got my macaroni in the oven. And I'm gonna fry some pork chops. And this is Betty, and I'm cooking on Fawnridge. But I will be back once we get all this stuff started, because I don't feel like rattling today, okay? Hey, I'm back, and this is my final segment. This is Betty, and I'm cooking on Fawnridge. Came right home from church like they used to do back in the day, put on my apron, started my meal, showed you how to prepare macaroni and cheese, and now my macaroni is done. Isn't that gorgeous? But while I was gone, I also sneaked in some other things. Man, I wish I knew how to flip this camera, because while I was gone, while you were gone, I made some collard greens on yesterday. Made some hot water cornbread. And I fried some pork chops. Woo! Gonna have me some sweet tea. And now this is cooking on Fawnridge. I love you. Remember, cooking can be fun. We don't have to always go out to eat on Sunday. It tastes so much better at home. This macaroni is off the chain, you guys. I just want you to see it. These are my Muppets. Remember I told you these are my Muppets. I'm gonna see if I can hold this macaroni up one more time. I'm gonna tilt it, because when I try to turn my camera, I always turn it off. So, there's my macaroni and cheese. And the light is kind of bright. I'm gonna turn the light off for a second. So I want you to really see the macaroni and cheese. There we go. All right. Here's my macaroni. Macaroni and cheese. And again, this is Betty on Fawnridge, serving my meal with much love. And I'll see you again on next week. I don't know what it'll be yet, but we'll think of something. It's getting close to Thanksgiving, so go out and buy the things that you need for Thanksgiving. And you have yourself a nice day. Cooking on Fawnridge, and I'm Betty. Ta-ta. Love you.